Hello everyone. I have more negative news about Microsoft for you, but this time it's not recall, but an even more serious issue. This is an article from ProPublica about a former Microsoft employee called Andrew Harris who accuses Microsoft of choosing profits over security and thereby leaving the US government vulnerable to Russian hackers. A short summary of his accusations are as follows. Harris worked for cybersecurity in Microsoft and was a bit of a cybersecurity prodigy in his youth. He identified a crucial security flaw in Microsoft's Active Directory Federation services, ADFS, which are used for single sign-on to cloud services. The vulnerability is called Golden SAML or SAML, which allows hackers to forge authentication tokens and gain privileged access, similar to a golden ticket attack in Kerberos. The most dangerous thing about this vulnerability is that attackers don't make a lot of noise once they gain this golden SAML key. He told Microsoft about this vulnerability, but he alleges that Microsoft prioritized business interests over security. In fact, he pleaded with them for several years. That's how long he knew about this vulnerability. The reason for Microsoft's non-reaction was the fact that the federal government was ready to invest massively in cloud computing and Microsoft wanted the business. If the flaw would have become public, the deal would have been in jeopardy, thus bearing enormous financial risks. He left the company in 2020, frustrated by his superiors' inactions. During the so-called SolarWinds attacks on the US, Russian hackers exploited this very vulnerability to infiltrate multiple federal agencies, including the Nuclear Security Administration and the NIH. At that time, Microsoft President Brad Smith reported to Congress that Microsoft was not to blame for the breach. Harris now alleges the exact opposite. Not only was it a Microsoft vulnerability, it was also a known one, he alleges. Of course, now, Microsoft denies these allegations, but the ongoing cooperation of the Pentagon with Microsoft comes under scrutiny. Not because necessarily of Harris per se, but because of a series of cyber attacks. Microsoft has a dedicated team to fixing security vulnerabilities, the MSRC. However, their influence seemingly got smaller and smaller once Microsoft decided to enter the cloud market and thus had to outperform Amazon and deliver fast. Product managers want to ship and they don't want to fix security bugs. Harris's security vulnerability apparently wasn't fixed because the attacker first needed to gain access to the on-premises servers before then being able to jump on the cloud data. That means that the security problem in the minds of this Microsoft MSRC is not the fact that the whole cloud could be compromised, but that the attacker could get access to the servers on-premise. This is where they draw their security boundary. This makes no sense, of course. A phishing attack might be enough, and it's also very easy sometimes to gain access to a company's or agency's on-premises servers. This should, however, not automatically lead to a compromised cloud, of course. Harris was not the only one identifying this issue. The security company CyberArk released a white paper and a proof of concept regarding this vulnerability, thus also making it available to attackers. Moreover, two researchers from Germany also presented a way to exploit this very vulnerability. Microsoft still didn't care, apparently. Now, none of this is confirmed, but it rings very likely to my ears. Microsoft has had business problems and cloud computing is or was, in fact, their way back to the top. Especially with the latest developments about recall, it seems that security and privacy at Microsoft are not a priority anymore. We'll see how this story develops and I'll keep you updated, and until next video, thanks for watching this one, subscribe to the channel, do not miss anything, and yeah, see you in the next video.